Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Thanks for asking. So, yeah,
I'm not
Shahbaz.
able to see you.
No, we don't have access to show our faces.
Okay.
Okay. So, Shahbaz, actually, I'm working at the Accenture client. I was asked by the client to write up a synopsis about you because they
Mm-hmm.
received your resume from Plateau Technologies. So, this is
Mm-hmm.
to ensure that the interviewer will have your background beforehand and interview goes smoothly. So,
Oh, okay. Oh.
So, can you share me your roles and responsibilities of current and previous projects?
Yeah, so I have been dealing with the Salesforce like almost like 5 years, and right now I'm working with the Cox Automotive, and I have been creating database reports on the Salesforce, and also creating tabs and doing the Apex part of that coding, doing the SOQL queries and SOSQs queries basically, and I am also dealing with the I also dealt with the partner client of Cox Motive, which was Stericycle, which was in the Illinois basically, and as the project ended, so I they immediately, like, it was a sudden closure of the project, so they immediately transferred me to the Atlanta, Georgia, which is Cox Automotive right now. So I'm dealing with them.
Okay. So, what is your overall IT experience?
It is like all over. It's around 8 years, you can say. I have been working with Global Data Mart. It is my employer. It was my employer when I was in India. So I all over is eight year approximately, you can say.
Okay. So, do you have
Mm.
lightning experience?
Yeah, since 2 years I'm doing the lightning experience as well.
So, are you still in project?
I'm still in project, but right now I'm not in a project, but I am working as a project. Yeah, I'm in a project right now with the Automotive. So they are actually closing down in a month or two. So basically, I'm just have to give the 2 weeks notice to them.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, just give me a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna ask you some technical questions on Salesforce, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, can you name any tools and resources which you think which are required for BI? Like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, just give me a second, okay? Just somewhat
You're
technical
talking
question.
about the triggers
Yeah,
and Apex
yes,
and
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So it's triggers, Apex. You can say Visual Force, Force.com, everything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's weird that I'm not able to see you, but it's weird talking to you without seeing you.
Okay. Actually, we don't have access to show our faces. Like, we have sent this video to client. Like, okay. So, can you tell me what is the sandbox?
I'm sorry.
Sandbox.
Sandbox.
Yeah.
Sandbox is the application where like people you can say like do you like Salesforce? I can just go with that. Basically, Salesforce is where you produce the application, and Sandbox is basically where you test it.
So, what are the types of sandboxes are available in Salesforce? What are the different
Mm,
types of sandboxes?
different sandboxes.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Hmm.
So, can you explain me what are the different data types that are standard field record? Can name? Can you name that?
You mean the
Data
you mean
types.
in the admin?
Yeah, yeah.
You mean in the admin side?
Hello.
You mean in the admin in the admin point of view?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah, so basically data types you can say matrix, you can say uh, many to many, and you can say um, one to many and stuff like that.
okay. So can you tell me what is the term data skew in Salesforce?
I'm sorry,
Data skew.
data skew.
Yeah.
Yeah, one second. I don't know that.
Okay. So can you have a roll-up summary field in case of a master detail relationship?
Yes.
So can you explain the like master detail relationship?
Okay, sure. Master dealer is basically parent to child relationship, and which is dealt only you can only have two master dealer detail relationship in a Salesforce, and you can have multiple lookup relationship in. So the first process of master detail relationship is the lookup. First, you have to do the lookup, and then it goes to the master. So you can maximum conduct like create two master detail relationship in Salesforce.
Okay. What are the types of custom settings in Salesforce?
I'm sorry. It's
Custom.
too much voice going on in the back, please.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what are the types of custom settings in Salesforce?
It's development and the deployment.
Okay.
Hmm.
So can you tell me what are the how many active assignment rules can you have in lead or case?
Uh, Actively like more than 500.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. What is the difference between role and profile in Salesforce?
You mean in the work process or like in the
Yeah, in work process.
role?
Yeah.
Okay, we actually deal in the cloud, so whatever client requirement is, we just create the applications according to the requirement, whatever they want. And for example, if they want name this way, or you can say the address this way, or gender of the person, you can just do that stuff in the Salesforce. And profile is basically there are two types of profile, you can say developer and the admin part. Developer, which goes with the coding apex triggers and soql, and admin goes with properly like in, which is really low in the market right now. Like the requirement of the admin part is really low right now. It goes with just basic parts which clients gives you to assign.
Okay. So what is an attribute tag?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
So what is an attribute tag?
I'm sorry.
Attribute tag. It's like
At
attribute. Yeah.
attribute tag.
Yeah.
Attribute tag is basically where you actually, for example, if you are assigning a security part, it's a part of security basically. If you are assigning something, any according to the client requirement, so you give some. Like for example, you are a business associate, so I want to give you a you can say access to the application I'm creating. So that's how I tag you like business associate, and that's the attribute tag.
Okay. Okay, that's
Hmm.
fine. Okay, what are the types of collections in Apex?
Uh, it's coding and like Apex collection in Apex.
Yeah, like we have list. We have three types of maps in map of Apex, like list, map, sets.
I don't know that.
Okay,
So
that's
now
fine.
let me check it. Yeah.
So okay. So how can you embed a visual flow in a visual force page?
How
How
can
can you
you?
embed a visual flow in a Visual Force page?
It's basically a requirement which goes from the Salesforce basically. So it is the latest stage of the Salesforce. So the Salesforce comes first, and you do it with the Salesforce servers, and you will be able to create the page of visualforce.com and stuff like that.
What is a Visual Force component?
Visual Force component.
Yes.
It is basically a page layout where you access by giving the instruction given by the Salesforce servers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the different methods of batch apex class? Do you know about that?
No, I don't know about that.
So, so what are the data types? Can a set store? What are the
What are the data
data
types?
types? Yes.
Yeah, what you can store? You can store anything according to the client, and you can also customize in the Salesforce. Like there are some you can say deployed standard procedures to create the applications, but you can also create a customized format of the sales page layouts and the page in the Salesforce basically.
Okay. So can you
Mhm.
mention what is the difference between SOQL and SOSL?
SOQL is basically query we have to put in there, and SOSL is basically a search language.
Okay. So what is the
Yeah.
difference between delete and truncate statements?
I'm sorry?
What is the difference between delete and truncate statements?
Delete? I'm not able to like understand what you're saying.
Like, what is the difference between delete and truncate statements?
Tank in statements?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're saying actually.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So,
Is it
so
good?
can yeah yeah can. So can you edit an Apex trigger in a
Yes.
production environment?
Apex trigger in the production environment? No.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So why are the Visual Force pages served from different domain?
It's according to the client requirement basically. It's you can say it's binded to the Salesforce servers. It is a later process to the application.
Okay. So
Mhm.
what is the use of writing sharing rules?
Writing sharing roles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know about the email templates?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. So what are the different types of email templates which are created in Salesforce?
It's basically according to like you can say you mean in the admin part, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it's this job is almost admin or developer.
Like
That's the question.
yeah yeah developer actually. It's a question about
Okay. Because a lot of questions is from the admin part. That's the reason I was like, okay, yeah. So a template statement is basically where you have some statement given. So for example, you can say XYZ countries are listed in the country column, but you want to mention it as A, then A country is not mentioned. So that's what the template gonna come in, that this field is not available for entry.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fine. So so can you tell me what's the limit of data.com records that can be added to Salesforce?
Data records
Yes.
500.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, is it possible to schedule a dynamic dashboard in Salesforce?
Yes.
So can you explain me about the dashboard?
Dashboard is basically tabs which are on the upper layer of the Salesforce basically, and like you can have like approximate details on the first page of the profile, and then that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. So what are the tile report types? What are
I'm
the
sorry?
tile? What are the tile report types? How many types of tile report types are there in Salesforce?
I don't know. I've never heard about it.
Okay. What is a roll-up summary?
Roll-up summary is basically one second. Okay, roll-up summary is basically you can say it is mostly in the builder process, and in that process you get some stuff where you actually derive all the work you have done in one page layout in
Why?
one, you can say.
So why it is used?
It's basically to make the client understand what we have done and from where we have done.
Mm, okay. It's
Mhm.
like counting for child records, calculating
Yeah.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So it's summary, child records, again, what's the parent, so what was the parent products or the product layout or something as such. So it gives you the summary of the whole work done in the application creation.
Okay. So how
Mhm.
many ways we can call Apex class?
One.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. What is the difference between action support and action function?
I don't know.
Okay. So what is an wrapper class?
I'm sorry.
Wrapper class.
Wrapper class.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrapper class in admin or developer.
In developer.
Wrapper class is basically where, like for example, um, you can say in SOQL. So whatever you want to pull it up on the SOQL, you just put the codes and like select name ID, production, accounts, dot ID and stuff like that, which gives you whole picture of whatever data you have it in the application. That's how it is a wrapper class.
Okay. Why do
Mhm.
we still need a visual force once lightning will be?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. What is the lightning extensions?
What is the lightning extension? What you mean? Why do we need the lightning?
Yeah. Lightning
Light.
extensions. Yes.
Yeah, basically nowadays everyone knows that every single human on Earth actually has a mobile phone, like, and everyone want the applications to be more simpler. So Lightning is actually dealing with the application which is very easy to understand by the people all over the globe. So it will
So,
extend because it has many people basically going on with that.
so what are the tools included in lightning?
I'm
Hello.
sorry.
Yeah. What are the tools are included in lightning?
It is basically the salesforce.com. You just have to just go in there and put whatever, like for example, you can say in Salesforce, you have tabs, accounts, opportunities, profile, home, and stuff like that. In Lightning, you have the same thing, but in a very simpler way where people can understand what's going on. And it's, for example, you have a bank application in your phone. So you just log in your credentials, and that's how the Lightning comes from. It makes people's life easier to deal with the applications.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fine. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Okay, I'll return up your synopsis. I'll send this video to client and recruiter will get back to you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you.